Jirik comes out of the kitchen with 2 piping hot bowls giving off some steam. He places them in front of our 2 players. Today I've prepared for you a spin on the traditional Celitalis noodle bowl. The lavish grain from the noodles comes from a field in eastern Amul, near the Valley of the Night Watcher. The reverberations of her forest result in a greater richness to the grain's flavor than any other I've tasted, with hints of rocknut and tuba. The noodles are boiled in water from the Sesamalik Bay, which imbues them with a bitterness that we Amuli find quite familiar to counter the many foreign flavors in this dish. The mixed-in greens that you find consist of a lerpin chiffonade, slow roasted and tossed in a reduction of Iriali sugar and eels wine, for a sweet taste to counterbalance the acidity from the pure berry sauce, which you'll find drizzled atop. Pure berries are large sapphire melons which only grow in the most moist environment around the Pure Lake, in a latticework of vines along the ground. When you crack open their thick blue hide, the meat within is a vibrant green with an unmistakable sharp flavor. And finally, the dish is topped with a single egg from a rare Thalathan chicken found deep in the Frostland Plains atop mountains. It took weeks of negotiations, but ultimately, the singular farmer of these chickens on all Roshar allowed me to bring home 2 females, which lay an average of 10 eggs a day. Please enjoy.
I think halfway through that, Luca had started eating it, and she looks up with a mouthful of noodles. It's like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pako is holding his head. You could light a match with his breath. And you said that it pairs well with water, right?
Traditionally, I'd like to pair it with some eels wine as well, with the sweet flavors, but Pako, you definitely need some water right now. And he pours you a nice glass.
I think that little speech that you did was good. I think the customers will like it, but desperately need some water right now.
He's already poured it in front of you.
I think like he reaches towards it and takes a big gulp. It's just my hands are kind of hurt. I'm just gonna eat it with my mouth fast like this. And he takes the dish and just kind of pushes it on his face like a drunk bastard.
Slurping it down.
So good.
Pako.
I haven't eaten in like a while. Anything that wasn't jerky. What?
Do you think this tastes like us a little bit?
I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
I think it tastes like us a little bit. We were in that water. He said he cooked it with that water. We were in that water.
It tastes like blood a little bit, but it's good. It's good. I like your cooking. Well, you want to be part of the team so you can cook for us.
Join our crew. Be our cook.
Heard that one before. Hey everybody, welcome to Knights of Desolation. This is episode 8. We are the 4 Crumlings in a pod, and I'm Noah Tubbs, your GM for this game. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh,
Woo,
perfect.
yeah.
The Hoosiers are national champions, 16-0. Love it. Love my Hoosiers.
And then we never heard about it again.
You'll always hear about my Indiana Hoosiers being national champions. They are quite literally the only ones that can be national champions in the year of 2025 and 26.
Well, that's true.
How much do we all care about the Super Bowl?
I hate the Patriots. Go Seahawks.
I agree with that because Patriots is a dumb name and Seahawks is a cool name.
Fascinating.
It is true, though.
Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, but I'm excited to play. We haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
So I have a pretty good fun fact for Luca.
Okay.
After mulling it over.
I guess that's fine.
Or not Luca, Pako. Excuse me. Well, there is a fun. It kind of involves. It involves
What?
Luca, actually.
What?
Interesting.
So the fun fact is Pako could be as tall as Luca anytime he wants. He just don't want to. You just have to get some blocks or some stilts or something. He could be as tall as her. He just don't want to. He's not insecure about that at all.
Not even a little
Pako
bit.
is not insecure.
Don't insinuate that at all to Pako about how short he is compared to everybody else, especially Luca.
You can only be in the Pako pack if you're 5'4" or shorter.
Paco's fun fact is that he can make himself taller with things in his shoes.
Yeah, he could be as tall as Luca. If there was
He
like a
just needs
picture,
4-inch blocks.
And it would be really noticeable because they're always open toe.
yeah, he could be as tall as her.
Actually,
he just
no,
want
I
to.
don't.
Yeah, don't you like not really wear shoes?
Wait, actually, no. Is that even
Not really.
true?
Yeah, but he could be.
He could be.
Wait, no,
He
no.
could
wait, wait. Is that even true? Because I don't even think Roshar. Not even saying like it's like a. I don't know if I would say it's a technological advancement to have lifts in your shoes, but like you wouldn't be able to. Like, are you saying like Pako throws rocks in his shoes to get taller? Because there's only a limited amount of space for that, right?
Yeah, he could just be packing.
Also,
crap.
wait, Pako doesn't
He
wear
could just
shoes.
be wearing. Yeah, but if he wanted to, he could he could be as tall as Luca.
Oh my god, this is how they got high heels in Roshar. It was all Pako.
He was just insecure about his height later on.
That's probably how they came about
I'm looking
in
through the
our
bits
world
of the
also,
art
honestly.
in the handbook and guide, and I'm just seeing like boots, even on like Yasna. So I don't think they had high heels because that if
I
anybody would
don't.
be
I'm
wearing
pretty sure they
them,
don't
I'd
have
be
high
like,
heels. I don't think they do.
He's got some chunky boots if he's wearing them. Let me tell you, about 7-inch lifts on him.
Got platform Converse or something.
Yeah, he's got platform. They don't have shoelaces; they're buckles. You
They
understand?
have heels and Scadrial, right?
How tall is Pako? 5'3", 5'4"?
Yeah, around.
Okay, Luca's what? 5'6"? Okay, 2 inches. Yeah.
now that I'm looking through this
No, I'm
art book and
5'8".
paying
I'm like
attention,
5'8",
I'm seeing a
5'9".
lot of toes.
Oh, you're 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. There's no way.
Right?
Yeah, he could be as tall.
Nah, you can't do that.
I
He
don't
could
wanna
be as
do
tall as her. He just doesn't want to be. That's
Absolutely
the
not
fun
true.
fact.
That's not true. You think you got 5-inch heels that you can get?
Oh, yeah,
and
I'm
5-inch
5'9".
Lifts? 5 inches is a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to because it'd be kind of awkward. But
That's why.
one day he's just as tall as Luca.
If any artists are listening, please draw Pako wearing stripper heels next to Luca.
Big meaty python legs too, and one's kind of gangly looking.
Pako, maybe once you swear your ideal and you believe yourself to be taller, maybe you can stormlight yourself some height.
Maybe he just don't want to.
You just have to
I heard that
identify
that's
as a
one of the
5'7"
surges.
guy.
Be tall.
It's a great fun fact.
Great fun fact. Sure.
It's really interesting because like my
Spurred
fun
a lot
fact
of
is
discussion.
like is kind of like also not trying to be rude, but also kind of like a shitty fun fact.
I do think the word "fun fact" definitely stretches it, but it is a interesting idea.
It's a true fact, unlike the facts that aren't true. I'm Allie Lester. I play Lukai'kualinaki'ashalor. Lukai'kualinaki'ashalor. And my fun fact is that Luca's got good bones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
she's got
What?
good strong bones.
A storm won't blow her over.
Yeah.
She doesn't leak.
No,
She's got a good roof on
bones.
her.
I don't know if that's a fun fact because we
That's
don't have milk in this world, right?
There's not really dairy.
You don't
I
need
think
milk
that the
to have
Shin
strong
use a bit
bones.
of dairy.
And
Yeah,
for
that's
the
the
record, I
shit.
didn't say strong bones. I said
Good
good
bones.
bones.
You
Good
get a lot of
bones.
calcium from those lakes up there. You don't know. You don't know though.
I don't think the teeth eaters. I said teeth eaters. Wow. Clam eaters.
Teeth eaters,
hard
the
shell
rock eaters. There's calcium in rocks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
but
lot of calcium.
you guys don't
Rocks
have
are
calcium, right?
calcium, dude.
You guys don't have. You guys don't.
Calcium are rocks.
Maybe the pink rocks I like so much have lots of calcium in them.
Yeah, she's getting a lot of calcium from the ground she's eating.
Yeah, in the shells.
Ironically,
It was in all those fucking Haspers I ate.
Yeah,
Literally,
shells
they're
are
made out of calcium.
Yeah, made out
right?
of that it tracks, dude. Just like how
I
Pako
didn't
could
even
be as
think of
tall as
that.
Luca, but he just doesn't want
I was
to.
like, you know what? She just got really good bones. Like, I don't got anything else right now. That's what we're.
I think one has a more
It's
scientific
justifiable
backing
for
than the
sure.
other.
I mean, it's a fact, dude. Pako could be as tall as her. He just doesn't want to.
But not Nazir.
I mean, I'm sure Nazir could. I mean, he doesn't need to.
No, I mean like you don't
I
want to
think
be as
she's-
tall as Nazir. I mean he's like almost he's
No,
like 10
way
inches
too
taller than
tall.
you.
Way
Yeah.
too tall.
You could if you
You
did
kidding
a,
me? No,
once we get some bone.
no,
lift-
no. I'm
bone
sure
lift
Paco's
surgeons,
gonna ask him what the weather's like up there.
Pako just won't ever be able to jump again.
Yeah,
but, you know.
if we invent the Chad leg lengthening surgery for Pako, you get disadvantage on all your physical stats. Your charisma goes up.
Stormlight will balance out the physical therapy. It'll be fine.
Fuck. Dude, you could get Chad leg lengthening surgery on Roshar and actually it works. It
Yeah, dude,
doesn't
just-
make you a cripple for the
They
rest
lost
of
it
your
in the
life.
Desolations. We had it.
You'll just be a long leg. You'll just be a long leg person.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
add a
that's
joint
weird.
actually.
Don't they have double like weird
We'll,
joints?
we'll give him
No,
the
thank
Blade
you.
Runner. You know the South African Paralympics runner that killed his wife? We'll give you
I'm sorry?
those.
No, he don't want them though. I forgot to say, I'm Andy Cotton and I play Pako.
Hi, my
Do you
name
have
is Myles.
any wisdom for the Pako pack this week?
Wisdom.
Some wisdom for the Pako pack. Here's a nice tip. Don't pet a burning dog.
At the Luca Legion, eat rocks if you can, but don't push yourself too hard.
Children do not eat rocks. Hi, my name's Myles
Especially
Cotton
children
Lester.
eat rocks.
I play Nazir. Fun fact about Nazir is, it's funny, I actually had fun facts and I have no idea where I put them all. Someone give me a
Blue. 4.
blue 4? Blue's Clues?
I was trying to guess what you were going to ask us to give you.
She was trying to get you off sides, dude.
Okay, here's this. Nazir was given a fake book by his brother Laram on how to pick up girls. And it was written by his brother. And he used it and got made fun of because it was really bad for 2 years when he was 16, when he was in the army. And the book's title was, wow, that's embarrassing.
It kind of reminds me of that story about how Tiger Woods went out with Jeter and Michael Jordan. And Tiger Woods went up to Michael Jordan and was just like, how do you get girls?
The book was called...
And really just Nazir has to be Nazir.
The book was called How to Bang an Alethlin for the Tall Gents Only. The name was Janara Doara, was the name of the author.
Oh.
Sounds like a venereal disease, but we'll take it.
Well, I was going more of a
Gonorrhea.
fake John Doe, but if that's the first thing that came
John Doe, yeah.
But I hear it now.
then so
Now that
be it.
Andy said it.
Thank you, Andy. You ruined it. Myles' author name.
That's actually
That was
That
actually
makes it
pretty
even
good.
funnier.
Nazir, you're walking through the streets of Sesamalek's Dar and arrive at the base of the crest.
Wait.
Here-
Can I do something before we get there real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go, I want to first say something to Thee while it's not like a full change of clothes, but I do want to take my shirt off, kind of wrap it around my waist so it's a little bit more of a free clothing thing of the environment around us. And then I want to talk to Thee real quick before we go to the thing.
Yes, Nazir?
Nazir's kind of thoughtful as he's changing himself in this moment. Things might get, I don't want to say dangerous, I'm not really quite sure what we might step into, but I'm going to need your help, and I'll give some directions as we get closer on how we should probably approach this situation. Hopefully no real action has to be taken as I kind of look at my spear. I must also admit this. I'm quite proud of Luca. I do think, hearing about a fight is kind of annoying, but not many people have a call to action, and being willing to protect those that need help and at a moment's notice, I do think is a valuable trait to have. And if we don't get completely screwed over tomorrow, and if we're still here by tomorrow, remind me to get her a gift during the festivities.
Absolutely, Nazir.
And she also gives this intention of wanting to protect Luca. Until Luca can achieve her first ideal, that she wants to pass on some form of her own protection and maybe hover around, and maybe at times she'll leave you, even though she's mostly stuck to you. At times she may leave you to go check in on Luca.
Okay.
You walk through the streets of Sesamalek's Dar. In the darkness, people around you walking with torches as most of the Stormlight has left their spheres. And there's a open entryway where you're able to freely go into the sort of apartment complex that is the crest. You look around a bit and gather the direction of the flow of the wealthy. You follow them up staircases until ultimately reaching an area that you have been told is the home base of the Union boss, the man who never leaves his office since he returned from visiting the Night Watcher. And here you find 2 large slaves, arms crossed, bearing no shirts, only simple trousers and sandals. They stand at the door, at the ready, a large set of wooden double doors.
Okay, so I see them before I even go up to them. What is the actual exterior structure? Is it built into the thing that there's only the entrance that I see where they're guarding, or is there any side or even roof type areas that can
So you have reached the upper floors of the crest where everything is carved out as if it were cut by a shard blade or soul cast away. In this thin hallway, think about like a typical hotel or apartment hallway, but we've reached an area where the doors are further apart than on lower floors. And there's also more security as you get through this area. This floor that you are currently on has one door.
Okay, so there's no possible way to even like sneaking see like any extra windows or areas to like it's just basically you have to go through what you physically see. Like
you are in a very enclosed space that were there to be a cave-in, you would die.
Okay, I would like to have Thea turn into like kind of like a mask that covers my face, like a vine mask.
Okay, absolutely. And she gains a more material form and blocks some of your face.
Then I'm going to tell her to kind of like basically be like, you're presenting yourself to the world in this moment. I'm going to have my spear like not a confrontational manner, but like almost like this is a very natural thing for me to have with power and grace. And I want the mask like Thea to kind of always be moving as if like anybody that sees us and has like any sense of like comprehension of, oh, is this like an actual sprint? And when they're looking at me to think, this guy's a Knight Radiant, this is like something that should be somewhat respected as I'm gonna go through in this area.
And the guards immediately sort of recognize that, and they will stand even at more attention and then knock on the door behind them, sensing that if someone enters this floor and bears this visage as you do, they are coming to meet with this man of import. So they knock on the door, and there is a returned knock from inside. They both, at the same time, swing open this set of double doors, and you see into a singular large room where at the back of it, there is a large balcony, as you saw from outside, that there are many ostentatious, luxurious balconies. Inside this room, you are confronted with a singular large desk, and there's several slaves standing at attention throughout the room, and a very large bodyguard next to a massive chair. And I don't think the Rosharans would have invented this, but this man's chair, it begins to spin around, and you see in front of you an absolutely massive figure. This incredibly heavy man who lounges very comfortably in a custom-made throne-like chair. You see that he has his hands on the armrests with these very pudgy fingers where he wears many rings, a very heavy chain, an assortment of clashing gems shimmering in the stormlight. He still has spheres that have a lot of stormlight in this room, and very dark skin and sea green eyes. As you enter this room, you also see many pillars on which there are artifacts. You see a Thalen ship in a bottle, or a Thalathan ship in a bottle, which is a luxury item. This is something that you've heard tell of but have never seen one. And it looks like an intricately decorated Thalathan ship that should not be within this very tightly enclosed glass container. You see there's some type of tool you don't recognize. There's several pieces of pottery that look very elegant. Some of them are just raw clay and unpainted, but you can tell there's mastery in the formation of them. You see a flat map. You can't quite make out exactly what it is. Some type of carapace shell and a small gem heart fragment, a shattered blade, and several other items scattered throughout the room. You also see several fish tanks within this room. So there's eels swimming through them, certain types of crustaceans that live at the bottom of the sea, fish, and also some urchins along coral reefs that are very well, not landscaped, but seascaped. As you enter this room and you see this very clear view through this balcony out into the city below, this man does not get up to greet you. Give me a perception as we enter this room.
Okay. Nat 20.
You focus in very quickly on the gem heart fragment. You know that you recognize it very clearly. This is a gem heart of a Voidbringer. Which type of Voidbringer do you want it to be? Which fused?
What is a fuse that I actually... Would it be poetic to be of my... No. The burning, the destructive one that Skybreakers and Will Shapers use. Not Will Shapers, sorry. Dustbringers.
Dustbringers?
Oh my gosh, what is it called?
Devastating one.
Oh, it is Devastating one. Okay, yeah. Yeah, do Devastating one.
You see the gem heart of a devastating one. And with your nat 20, Thea is going to sort of enhance your vision. You have a Batman cowl on right now, and you're like scanning the room. You lock in on the writing, and you see that it's being declared that this is a unirig gem heart, that this comes from a great shell, that this is something greater than what it is instead of one of the thousands of dead corpses just looted at the end of a battle. You also see through your vision, there's a shattered blade right there, and it's black. Like the vision that Thea is giving you, it is like empty space carved out. You have no idea what this is. This metal, it just gives off no reflection. It is just nothingness. So you look straight through that. With your nat 20, you also get a very clear vision of the city below, enshrouded in the brace of Talm's crest looming high above. The sun has already set in the west, so that's the bay. And then you know that behind you, the first of the three moons, Nomon, will be rising behind the crest completely out of view.
Okay.
You see illumination from within the tents of the citizenry returning home for the evening, and you see that they're walking these dry streets protected from the weeping rain far above. And you also see very clearly the bobbing lights of ships in the bay, a completely full wharf, and beyond that, a cluster of anchored ships out deeper in the bay, forming a kind of arrow-type shape that you very quickly realize they're trying to avoid the rain. They're staying underneath the crest as it peaks out into this singular Nightmare Before Christmas-like archway. Then you also see a glass contraption set up by the window that looks kind of like a tube on a tripod.
In addition to that, can I also, only two other questions is, when the knock was given, was it a general knock, or was there a rhythm or structure that I would infer is like a secret knock? And then secondly, I want to just get a glimpse of the guard that's in the room and see what he's decked out in, like armor and weapons.
Yeah, it was a call and response. It was 2 knocks and then a response of 2 knocks in which they opened the door. Oh, and then with the nat 20, you also see a model of the city built out on the desk in front of this man. And you see with the nat 20, I'll give you this, that there's the crest. And you know that when you first arrived in the city, there were these tarps covering part of it above the palace. You see below that. You see that there are carvings going on. That's something happening up there. There's work being done to carve something into it before the curtain is put over it again and this model is moved off to the side of the table.
Okay. And then what about the bearings of the guard in the room? Just standard armor and like sword, or?
You see a large man in a full Emuli military outfit. He's wearing his kudu blade on his side, and he's wearing a helm that looks like he reached something like general, probably. This is, compared to the so-called soldiers that you've been meeting, this is a warrior. This man is someone that survived the wars, and he's not some dipshit that is just in the required military service after the war has ended.
So not even a personal guard, an actual military man. Okay, that's interesting.
So the man spins around in his chair, and we are going to start the encounter here. How does Nazir resist the influence of rich and powerful people?
How does he resist the influence? Maybe there's a passive and active thing. I think there's a passive thing of like, it's been built as a norm from him on both sides of his family. His mother is not one, I think, that engages in wealth or like excess manner and is well reserved outside of like extreme necessities of like schooling, making sure you're fed, and things of that nature. In regards to his father, who is also like a noble of his area, it comes in schooling of fights, knowing how to protect yourselves and things of that nature. I think this is a different kind of wealth because there are items or points of intrigue in this room that I do think Nazir would find interesting to look at. So I think it is a thing of like, I don't have to worry, this is like normal, but then he like sees like certain things like, that's an interesting Balin ship. Okay, that's an interesting item. Oh, he has a gem heart. And then it would have to be like an actual mental like check on himself of being like, breathe, calm yourself, not the mission at this point in time.
And it's also not the type of gem heart that it's being displayed as. There's an indication of more wealth than what is there. The check in this moment, are you wanting to do something like a counter intimidation? Is this a personal leadership? Is this a survival? What are you trying to do this resisting of wealth and influence?
I think it's discipline.
All right, we're rolling against his intimidation.
I think it's just discipline. Like, I don't think he's like survival. I think is more of like being on the back foot, which I don't think he is. I don't think it's intimidation because I think that's Nazir stepping, like putting his foot forward to like make a statement, which I don't think he's trying to do at this moment. So I think it's
roll
discipline.
Against his intimidation.
Okay.
This is going to be versus his cognitive defense.
11.
That is unsuccessful here. Like you were saying, this is a different kind of wealth. This is new money. You come from old money, which is all that has existed in this world for the past 100 years. Anybody with wealth comes from someone that had it, because there hasn't been time for people to develop any kind of new money. So here you find something kind of new. You find a personal museum filled with artifacts that are distracting you. You try to lock in on this man, and in the moment of seeing in a way, desecration of an artifact that you know that the Amuli hold very dear, you are distracted, and he overwhelms you with this intimidation of not standing up and staring you down. What spren are you attracting in this failure?
Probably Allspren.
A blue ball of energy in Allspren just rises around you and pops. Ahaha! Welcome, Nazir Alethlin. Please make yourself comfortable. Is there anything we might fetch you?
Interesting.
Also, sorry, real quick, you lose 2 focus.
I lose 2 focus from that? Would that be -1 because I'm in vigilance?
You approach this room by entering vigilance stance, so you reduce that loss of focus by 1.
Okay, interesting. Okay, go on.
Khalik, please fetch me the 20-year eels wine. His giant guard, this man in a full military outfit, looks sort of taken aback that there are all these slaves around and says, yes, Vivek, and walks off to the side and leaves the room for a moment. It is an absolute pleasure to be in the presence of such an esteemed guest. I offer my most sincere welcome to Sesamalex Dar. I do hope you have enjoyed your visit so far.
I'm going to disassemble the mask of Thee and kind of have her float like around and almost like a Mobius strip thing like around my neck and say, curious that with a false imagery of a bounty and a mask, you still easily deduced who I am. It makes one wonder the amount of eyes that you may have in this city.
Wise indeed. Yes, I have many eyes. They caught you and your troop long ago. I am quite sad that our friends could not join us here. I understand that they are resting peacefully down at Jirik's spot.
Yes, resting peacefully, for they have the power to grant themselves such reprieve.
Oh, do not worry, I would not bother them. If anything, they are under greater protection being under my eye.
Nazir's going to, because he is pretty uncomfortable by the shirt, since he like knows he's up, he's going to actually put his shirt back on, because being just bare-chested is not his whole thing, so he's going to do a little... I do have some dealings with businessmen such as yourself, however, I must apologize for I do not have the patience for such a thing. And I believe, given the time of night, it might be best if we get straight to the point quite quickly. I'm not new to your area, but I'm not aware of the current dealing-ons that go on. I am aware, however, that there is a ban, it seems, on entering and leaving for ships, and it seems to be that you're the man to talk to. I am curious in this moment as to if you can indulge me, why that might be the case.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Out of respect for your station and your lack of time to deal with such events, I have ordered a ship to be at your beck and call. And in this moment of sort of shock, his guard is going to enter again with a tray with the wines on it. And he says, oh, excellent. And he claps with his big pudgy hands as that's brought over to him. Let's do another discipline check, probably. I think discipline's probably the best as he sort of does this in a shocking manner.
13.
Still not enough. You lose 1 more focus.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as he's pouring, at this time I simply cannot authorize any departures from our dock, so long as the strike continues. Fret not. I see the light spren at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Oh. And he hands you a glass of wine.
I'm going to take the wine should I do a history? Is this specific eel wine? Is this like a sweet wine or like what type of?
Eel's wine comes from the bay. There are these seaweed sea grapes that form in the salt water down there. And there are free divers that go down and harvest those. And then sort of like the grapes in colder regions, when they freeze up and shrivel over the winter, that they gain a lot more sweet flavor.
Oh, ice wine.
Yeah, for ice wine. But the longer and deeper underwater they are, the more they cultivate this sweet flavor and are brought back up. It is very expensive. It is a very thick liquid that has a purplish blue tint like the berries themselves. And it is a very sweet wine that I came up with before your fun fact where you said Nazir really likes sweet wine.
I'm gonna... Okay. Oof. Fuck. Okay. Can I... One is a survival. I just want to make sure there's nothing in it. And I'm going to make one for myself to see if Nazir drinks it. I'm going to do a discipline.
The one to
for
check
myself.
if there's anything in it, I'll give you with advantage in this moment because of the way Thea is kind of around your neck. I can have her do like a check of sort of putting her finger in it, see if anything happens.
So the survival for that would be 16.
Okay. You can sense that this is free of any toxins other than alcohol.
Well, dang, that's even worse. Okay, I got a 24 on discipline. So Nazir's going to look at it kind of longingly, not sip from it, but have it, nearby.
And do you say anything to him in response to his, I give you a ship, but I cannot let it leave?
Nazir's first going to look at the wine and say, with genuine, appreciation, I do thank you for the wine, truly. Though I might be...
For such an esteemed guest such as yourself, I must bring out my finest vintage.
And then I tip my glass. Why would you wish to give me a ship when we have no dealings with each other?
You are one of the 90 that I have been made aware of. You are to be one of the candidates for king of a new world. And, of course, I have read of you in the newspaper, in the broadsheet, that rag run by the nefarious fellow that we know as Hayne Hookman. And I hope to impress you, to leave you with, in the most cynical way possible, good feelings about myself in order for you to give me favorable dealings in the future as you rise to prominence.
Okay.
Has anyone ever been this openly cynical to you to your face?
Yes. Above board, I want to say I'm genuinely surprised as me myself because this is what I would expect of a businessman. So a lot of things I had thought of prior are different now because I was like, no, this is how he should be. You seem like quite an influential and powerful man. What is the power beyond that is even tying your hands in this moment of not even allowing certain ships to leave?
You see, there is a conflict between us and Azamir. They believe there are some nefarious goings on, or I'm not sure quite what it is, but I'm aware that recently they appointed a new diplomat to replace my good friend. We have had conflicts here and there, but this has reached a fever pitch. During the war, we were exploited. We had our horses taken for cavalry. We had our men taken for war. A required service that did not quite apply in Azamir. And so we maintain our standing army here in Emul, but we no longer feel that it should serve at the beck and call of the city far to the northeast. This is a different land. We see culture differently, and we should not be under the thumb of your Gandalwa.
Well, to be fair, I don't know how to classify him as my Gondwala. I have also qualms with the individual, for if I did not, as a man of your intelligence, you would also know I probably would not be here at this moment. However, I must ask...
Of course.
If the issue remains with Azamir, why a full stoppage of all trade? Why just not create a simple barring to that specific area?
You see, there are many keys to negotiations, and we have reached an impasse. We have accepted for many years a beggar's feast, scraps draped in luxury, while the capital indulges in the fruits of our exploitation. All of Azamir's daughter cities should share in such exuberant wealth, this man says as he is covered in jewelry.
Yeah.
This problem stems from the dirty secret that all governments, not just Makabakums, are quietly republics. Voting is simply done with the sword in most. Ours, however, is done through coin. Everyone conveniently neglects to tell the lower classes that it's their lack of coin and swords that prevents them from achieving self-governance. I wish to use my wealth to create self-governance for my people. Freedom is a luxury granted to those with power such as myself.
He says this as he has slaves in the room? Okay. Interesting.
100%.
Okay.
How does this argument hit you? Has Nazir thought of this, that Makabakam is not a republic based on voting, as you have sort of been told to believe, but it does rely on coin and sword?
I don't think that's like a crazy thing. Like, I think being enthralled in war, you kind of realize, like, at a certain point, like, you would appreciate if, like, a voice could really pierce through the crowd and be strong. But sometimes fists are just stronger than your words. Sometimes holding a sword is all the speaking that must be done at a moment. And coming off of a war that literally went across the entirety of, like, the continent / world of Roshar, I don't think it's a surprising thing. I think it's a sad acceptance of reality that be.
Let's do a check against that, like, ideology being put to you.
I think he, like, accepts that may be true, but I don't think he accepts that it needs to be the case.
Okay, we can avoid a check here. We can just say that this hits you, but it doesn't, like, there's no reason to fully resist it.
No, I think it is irresistant. Like, just because the reality of, like, the world may be what it is, that doesn't mean that we should accept that reality for what it is.
And so he sees you're quiet, he strokes his chin, and he says, "Our conflict could be resolved as early as tomorrow evening at my daughter's wedding. Many important people from the upper echelons of our great society will be present in hopes that I may announce the end to such of a strike. You and your compatriots, of course, are welcome to join in our festivities. Here, we welcome all to pour their emotion to the bridal vase supporting the young couple throughout their lives, and the presence of radiance such as yourselves and the bondsmith would be quite the honor."
My first question I must ask you is, if you're aware of who I am, are you aware of the business that I engage with usually? Like the name of, like, basically the company I work with.
I have heard of your assistant, your companion, your trading partner. Yes, we would love to assist your business with favorable deals, better port positioning, whatever you may require of us. We live to serve. But before that, may I ask a favor of such a talented figure as yourself? My own hired help simply cannot compare to your impressive talents.
Asking a question is the freedom of people, but just because you ask does not mean one is required to accept it, but ask as you wish.
I wish for you to look into the new diplomat I spoke of earlier, and if you can simply report to us what his current task is, what his objective is, maybe something that he's learned. Nazir, your influence may be key in achieving at least a small victory for the Union and the port workers, and if you can, then tomorrow evening it will be an unforgettable celebration, and a ship will be ready to transport you wherever your troop may wish to travel.
Do you have the name of this diplomat?
Kunde, are you familiar with him? Let's do a history check here.
Okay. Well, I'm not rolling good.
Is there not a history? Is there a...
I don't think there is a
I'm
history.
playing D&D.
No, there's not a history.
Lore.
Lore. Okay.
You're trying to beat a 12 here.
I got an 11. 8 plus 3.
You do not know Kunde. This man has crossed paths with your mother. You've maybe heard the name in passing. He's someone that is not a vizier, but he's not too far below that either. He's put in his name before.
Yeah. Okay.
He may be up against you in the next running if you were to submit, but or he will be up against Tigzir.
If the nature of what you truly desire is a simple conversation, I'm willing to provide that. I hope that in return, you may look at Seafair Wares and see the potential in which this company is. For someone like you, I will not speak to the nature of the goodness of mankind and such like that, for I do think it might fall a little bit on deaf ears. However, coming off of a war, you should have an understanding that people are tense, people are afraid of what may come for the future of all. But what is a staple for everybody is food. And we specialize in making sure that people receive what they need to. And I hope that reaches you from a business end and you see the potential in that. And I hope that if you are honest with taking down the bans, you speak with the representatives of this company and have a good conversation. I, in return, tomorrow, since I will still be here, I will talk to this diplomat. I cannot guarantee any information that will be received as a result, but I will do my best to try.
Roll me a persuasion against his spiritual defense.
Okay. Do I have high persuasion? No, I don't have high persuasion. Makes sense. Oh, that's crazy. I got a nat 1.
You lose the rest of your focus in this moment. It's all gone.
I'm not going to lie. Outside of that nat 20, I have not rolled above an 8.
Let's turn up the stakes. Let's see if we can counter this.
I haven't rolled above
only
an
have
8.
you lose 2. Yeah, you've
That's
been rolling
actually
like
crazy.
shit. Let's see what happens here.
It's just blank. It's just neutral.
You lose all of your focus, and in this moment, you see like the eyes of a predator. This man that has been sitting here just jubilant, a very wide face, grinning the whole time. The grin, it extends to the point that this is someone that has latched onto their prey. They have gotten what they want. His eyes, they almost seem to, the pupils, they grow in just this enjoyment of having gotten what he wants. And give me an insight roll as well.
That scary fucking bitch in solo leveling.
Yeah, which we think is peak. We in this house,
There's a phrase always to remember,
leveling.
which is that schemes and intelligence mean nothing behind absolute power. So at the end of the day, when I spawn at least my third ideal, if he fucks me up, dude, I roll. Okay.
Paco's still gonna put trash in your shoes when you're asleep.
I haven't rolled above a 10. That's a 12.
A 12 is enough to notice that he's almost unimpressed with you. After this encounter, he thinks higher of himself and less of you, and he spins his eel's wine in his glass, tilts his head back and sips a bit, and he looks off into the bay a bit and laments, "Nazir, do you not find it incredible that during an age of desolation, of nothingness, constant war, and fear, that there were such forward-thinking brewers that they thought to ferment the eel's wine for generations in hidden cellars, that one day after the war we might enjoy such a vintage, a belief that their plans would reach deep into the future and achieve what they desired. Isn't it incredible, Nazir?"
I don't really care.
He uses his rousing presence to give one ally determined, and you see his guard just stands at more attention and gives off this aura of excitement and energy. Is there anything else you do before you leave the room, as he's still sitting in his chair and his guard brings up to him that tripod and he looks through this tube down into the bay and kind of gives a wave as if you're free to go?
No, I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm just gonna leave.
You turn your back and you leave. The next morning, we're going to get Pako some time to talk. I know Andy gets really antsy.
No, I was chilling. I was eating Ritz crackers.
The sun is just beginning to peek its eye out of the eastern plains, far on the other side of the crest. So you just see a radiant light shine through the sides of this massive shadow caused by the crest. If you were to be outside, we find our player characters all sleeping at Jirik's place, which I believe Nazir returned to and just pulled up on the ground without saying much, or kept a watch up until he was switched out with. In this early morning, you hear, "Jirik! Last warning, little chef. The Rebs wants you back at the ship by sundown, or else we will have to take you by force. Negotiations are finished, you see."
Huh?
You guys hear this very loud voice, and then a very big, bulky man who ducks under the top of the tent enters the restaurant. You immediately notice these long white eyebrows that are pulled back and tied around the back of his head like a headband. That's underneath a bald head. Thaylen people are very typically short, but this man is giant in every dimension. And he wears several expensive rings on his fingers and has a very thin sleeveless vest with a very hairy salt and pepper chest exposed. He wears seafaring boots that are stained with dry salt all over and has 2 curved swords on his hip. He walks into this place and sees probably Nazir first on the ground. Jirik, you cannot keep this place as a hotel and a restaurant. Jirik is going to run out from behind the, because he slept in the back while you guys slept in a different area. He runs out, he gets behind the counter. I'm not going back to the ship. I said that last time. I'm not going back to the ship. I told you, I'm staying here. I'm from Emul. I'm from Sesamalagdar. I'm not going back out there. Tell your reps that our deal is over. I'm not cooking on the ship anymore. Is anybody else gonna pop out here at all this commotion?
Yeah, I think Nazir's a very light sleeper.
Pako wasn't actually asleep. Pako appeared to be in the tent, but he just left his stuff in the tent. He was sitting outside.
So the huge man walked past a drunkard slumped over at the entrance of the tent as he walked in and was screaming.
The only thing that Pako had with him was an empty bottle and his knife that he dug into the sand as he was looking over the bay, looking at Salus's sparkling violet light kind of drifting away.
Let me check that moon calendar.
Are you hungover?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pako can feel his head pulse with every crash of the waves in the bay, but at this time he's too drunk and too tired to move because he knew someone had to keep watch. And his drunk body decided once Nazir came back that no one else was going to do it. So he dragged himself out to go look over the bay, keeping one eye open.
So I was wrong. Salas does actually drop right as the sun rises. That is a corresponding hour. So as you see the last bit of Salas drop, you've seen the sky begin to brighten a little bit, but now that the sun has crested the plains off to the east behind the crest, you see a light kind of shoot across the sides as you remain in the shadow of the crest. And as the sun shoots through into this open sky, it's Lightday, baby. This is a holiday that you guys wait all year for.
Hello.
And the sky brightens up with rainbows all over the place. Zoom, 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 zoom. Pako, you're not out alone. In the last 20 minutes, you've seen everybody waking up and the streets get filled. There's crowds and crowds of people entering the streets and they wait for this moment. This is New Year's Day. This is the ball dropping. As the sun crests from the plains, rainbows begin to form everywhere. The clouds part and the weeping finally stops after 2 full weeks. It is the most gorgeous display you've ever seen as these rainbows shimmer with the salty water below of the bay and the smells in the air of everybody preparing their dishes and getting ready for an absolutely wild holiday of Lightday. The sun hits Pako a little hard.
He's been out there for a while before dawn was even a thought. He came out there to be alone with his thoughts and his sins. His knife dug into the sand to hide his shame.
I thought you were saying his knife's name was Doug.
No, his knife was dug into the dirt to hide his shame. And for about 20 minutes, it was extremely peaceful for him. And then people started to stir and make excited cheers. And they started to whisper loudly to each other. Pako is just filled with disgust about himself, about living another year. He's riddled with guilt for not dying in his sleep drunk. Pako watches a big man walk in and start screaming at his old host. And Pako, half drunkenly, half hungover, picks up his bottle and looks at it and sees that there's a small sip left. And he goes, "There's another year." Pako is filled with what should be happiness for everybody else. It's just sheer remorse and self-loathing.
And as you look down at your bottle and you ask, is there anything more in this thing? You hear a resounding no as it reverberates in your head. Inside.
Nothing up inside. And then he hobbles up onto one knee. The motion is too quick for him, and he feels that slight slosh of cold saliva in his mouth, and he throws up a little bit, dusts it over the sand, and then stands up, cracks his back. His leg is hurting a lot more than usual because he laid on it weird. He's still not used to being a cripple. And he lurches back in to see a large man yelling at his cook and his friends rousing from sleep.
And one more whisper. As soon as you enter the place, you hear, "Glad you're alive."
I'm not. Hey, cook, hey. Dude, can you, make some more food?
Water for the Pako! And he goes back and he starts grabbing some stuff, getting food ready. "I'm not talking with you. I'm not going back to the ship." And he starts working, and you hear a bah!
Big guy, hey. Who are you?
"I am Bosun Breck."
Oh, okay, eyebrows. That's our cook. He's joining our crew. He's on our ship now. I hired him.
Haha, Pako. Yes, I'm joining with Pako's crew. Pako, we're heading out to sea again because I love going to sea. I love being out on my ship. He's
This
chopping
is a
stuff up.
podcast, Noah. No one can see you pretending to cook with your hands.
Pako walks over. He hobbles over to Luca and kind of kicks her foot.
I was like, she's still asleep. She has not woken up yet.
Kicks her foot and goes, "Hey, wake up!"
He fought over for like 30 minutes the fact that Luca does wake up first before the dawn.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say it's the first time she's like ever slept in.
After
Yeah.
yesterday's fight.
Nazir's a light sleeper. Nazir's up.
Luca's never fought people before. That was very emotionally draining.
Yeah, this is a holiday, but it's okay. We got breakfast.
I would like to mentally speak with Thea for her to do an action to this big man.
Absolutely.
I'm going to speak to Thea in my mind. I'm going to be like, Skyle, and then present yourself to this man, and then talk to him and say that a Night Radiant is watching over this place, for this is one of his favorite restaurants, and that it is best if that this man does not get too rowdy or incur the wrath of someone that might be too dangerous for him.
Thea enters the sky from your wrist, takes off and floats over like a vine, gets in front of Bosun Breck's eyes and whispers into his head, saying, what was the thing you said? Shit, I should have written it down.
She just says that.
She said, yeah,
What he said.
that a Night Radiant is watching
that's right.
over this.
A Night Radiant is watching over this restaurant, and we would prefer if you do not make such a scene. Thank you.
And she's going to just float sort of around his head. And he just keeps looking around up until the point that he's looking around so much he catches Cosmere on the ground. "Little brother," he like kind of nudges him and he says, "Why are you sleeping in here? Where is your captain? Where is your Bobsk?" And then Cosmere is going to look up at him and be like,
I'm his boss.
I've got my friends. I'm traveling with my friends."
Yeah, no, hey, eyebrows, I'm his boss. He's joining my crew. We're gonna go out on a hunt. I found him scrounging around in the garbage, and I thought that his resourcefulness would be key on a ship.
"You found him in the garbage?" He looks down
cannot-
at the boy and he says, "Gtheben Thalen?" Klaus looks at him like, "I left the loth when I was really young. I don't think I speak any Thalen, really." So sad, so sad to see such a little one with no tradition, with no bobs, adrift with a Herdazian. Oh, who are you, little kedge? He's gonna say, "Oh, I'm." Does anybody interfere here before he?
Before he says his name. Yeah, I call him Rut. He didn't. I found him when he was young. He didn't have a name. I just call him Rut. He hadn't deserved it yet. I'm roll deception.
Yeah, roll a deception. Claus is going to give you a help. All right, he's just waking up, so he will not give you advantage, actually. But he's trying to help.
Okay, that was a 14.
I was like, please roll good.
Yeah, I'm Runt.
Yeah, he's small. You see, he could be taller if he wanted to, but he's small now.
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna hold my spear.
There's our little prince.
I'm gonna hold my spear, and I'm gonna say, I don't think moving around so early in the morning is good for any party, and I don't think
especially me.
What he said. But I also don't think that anybody is really in desire of having a huge focus on them when everybody's happy for Lightday. And I think it doesn't harm anybody to maybe wait an extra day before pushing for anything.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of money in his little cook stand, and then he's gonna go on a hunt with us.
He had a high enough check that he knows that was a deception, and he looks at Cosmere a little closer, and he says, This evening, we shall break the blockade and make for Thalath. Should you wish, you join. The Rebs has been searching for a cabin bar. We are docked in a secret quetch, windside, past the docks. And he stands up and looks at the rest of you and says, Happy Lightday to you all, and Jirik, I will attack you and take you back to the ship by force. If you do not come by this evening, we are leaving, and the Rebs will not leave without you. And he just starts storming out of the place.
Okay.
Hello. What? Oh, good.
Luca,
good
did you hear
morning,
that?
everyone. I've never slept like that before.
Yeah, you missed the holiday. Nazir, did you hear that? He's got a way out.
Oh, are you okay?
He throws up a little bit on his after drinking some water.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some water for Pako.
Yeah, Jirik has poured a couple glasses that are like ready to go on the counter. He's kind of separated from you guys in the dining area.
He has to bring it to us in the waiter triple carry. He's cooking though.
I want to grab Pako. I want to have him lean back as I pour water into his mouth.
Yeah, Paco's just he's just like, all right, and I'm gonna roll to see if you just waterboard him.
I was gonna say you're waterboarding him.
His mouth was
can do
just
it
kind of still
himself.
kind of full of vomit. You're waterboarding Paco, and he goes,
Lazy.
he sputters and just goes.
Lazy, he can drink water himself. Oh my god! And I like help him. I try to like help Paco sit up and like I don't know, produce a cloth and kind of try to like clean his face up a little bit.
Paco takes the cloth and just kind of smears the puke off of his chest and goes, right, so. He's got a way out. Do you guys want to stow away on his ship or go with my cousins or what? I honestly kind of I have a horrible headache. I got hit in the head several times last night. I tried to drink to forget it. I cannot forget it. I'm missing a molar.
I think I may have also hit you with an arrow a little bit. I am very, very sorry.
Yeah, that was messed up. It escalated quite quickly.
I was not trying to do it.
Is your axe-hound okay?
Oh yes, Prayer, he's fine. He's probably still like curled. He probably
Prayer
woke
has
up when I
full
would
rested,
usually
has
wake
woken
up.
up and is kind of walking around a little bit. A big downward dog stretch with all 6 legs.
Paco will be quiet now after being waterboarded and asking about the dog.
Jirik comes over to you and cracks an egg straight into your mouth.
I'm going to roll to see if actually kind of rebounds a little bit. It's like, oh, thank you. That was... Hey, what kind of egg is that?
Chicken egg. Yeah, I've got one type of chicken. Got 2 of them, but they came from all the way over in Thalath, and they're rare chickens, you see. Now I'm starting to talk like the Thalathan. They always say you see at the end of things, and they're infecting me. I got to stay here. I got to be in my home city. I can't be leaving with them again.
Well, you can always just join our merry band of crew.
No. I'm not leaving. You guys all want to leave.
Oh,
you all told me yesterday.
You should.
No. This is my restaurant. I finally got all my ingredients from all over Roshaw. I'm working here, and I have no intention of ever getting on a ship again. I'm done with it. I'm staying here. Went on an adventure. Had my fun. I'm done.
Can we take one of your chickens?
Speaking of adventures, Nazir, where did you go? I recall you were around, and then you left.
You would not be aware of him leaving.
Yeah, I don't think you were aware.
Nazir, I thought you were
Luca's
keeping a
aware.
watch.
No. I was aware that you were in the town last night. I do not recall you coming into the tent. Where were you? I got shot by an arrow. I killed a guy.
You didn't kill anybody.
I don't know if I did or not. I certainly killed this bottle. But where the storms were you?
I was gonna say I was around. No, but I was around, Pako. I watched the entire time you had your engagement with those worthless military men.
Okay, I'm glad that you watched from your chair. Could have used your help.
From a chair?
With the arrow stuck in my side.
What chair would I have been on,
the
Pako?
bold warrior that is Nazir, the bold and courageous warrior that which stands up for his values. Nazir sticking to his friends by watching outside of the fight. Excellent.
I would like to have some breakfast. I'm hungry.
There you go.
Jirik finishes up sizzling some vegetables together. He brings out, when the fajitas come out sizzling, he puts them down right in front of you guys and has some nice fresh squeezed juice from these berries that he found over in Alethlin. And he explains what everything is, which I'm not going to.
I want
Hope you
another
guys
big
enjoy.
long explanation.
Sorry, only so many foods on Roshaw. He presents to you this dish and he says, all right, now, I gotta open the restaurant soon. So everybody, if you would please eat up, and you're welcome to stay here tonight if you don't find your way out. But if you do get aboard a ship, safe travels to you, friends. I'll always be open for you.
Do you have a hat I could have?
Hat. Ooh.
I just want to say I think you might throw up in your hat. If it is.
No, I'm gonna wear it. It's too bright out. No.
He might also throw up in it.
No, like a hood. Or give me like a sack or something to put over my head.
Oh, Pako, you deserve better than a sack. Give him a hat.
I'll gladly give you this hat that I found when I was over in Valhav. And so he brings out this very kind of traditional looking pork pie hat.
James Miller ass.
Cool.
It has safari flaps on the back.
Oh man!
Did you see
totally pull
Brian's
this off.
stupid fucking hat? Okay, sorry.
So
I'm
sad.
done doing bits.
So
This will
sad.
go well with the dice that I keep in my pocket.
Fucking with it.
That way people know I'm cool.
Do I see my little spren anywhere? I know you said like there's a lot of people, so probably not, but I'm looking.
You can give me a check.
Can I roll?
Yeah.
Can I roll in the game where we roll dice? I assume that's just perception. Maybe?
Sure.
19?
You sense that there's a connection between the two of you, that as the night fell, that there was a willingness to sort of enter this area with a lot of humans, and probably like you see up in the rafters a bit, not even rafters because it's a tent, but like up near the top, there's a little Kremling of blue light that just is hovering there and looking down at you.
Oh, I don't like want to draw attention to it because I know he is a shy guy. So I look up at him and I just give him a little like head nod, like, hey, so, but like respectfully, not casual, very respectfully.
There's a transition into a windspren, which turns into a small horse, which then turns back into the Kremling and sits there again.
I make like the kind of face you make when a toddler is like babbling at you and you're like, uh-huh, oh yeah. Like I kind of give him like, good job, buddy, thumbs up. That was great.
You guys finish your meal and you step out into the city all together. There is festivities all over the place. The excitement abounds. Jirik's place is close to the bay, and so you see some people getting started already. There are large groups of people forming around a couple in the center. You see a priest that is being carried by slaves, that it's being elevated up a little bit to sort of stand above the crowd, gesticulating wildly and preaching to this loud crowd, saying you don't quite know what, but you also see that there are two very well-dressed figures within the middle, typically a man and a woman together. Everybody's wearing like very intricate headdresses, and the two in the center are wearing the highest that also have veils in front of both of their faces. So that is happening down at the docks where the ships are not really moving, but you see a lot of smaller groups forming around like a priest and then two people wearing very high headdresses. You also see that there's tons of booths being set up. So there's food, there's games, there's all kinds of enjoyment to be had, performers.
Rolling perception to see if I can, if there's a booth with anything sparkly in it. That is a natural 20. Give me some sparkly
Opportunity.
tools, please.
You see that there is a booth where there is a elderly lady having her grandson help try on this pearl necklace. And as the grandson goes to like clasp it behind his grandma's neck, he drops it. Oh no! And then some of the pearls begin to scatter. You watch some of them move, and one of them goes like right past your feet and starts trailing off into the crowd. And as you go to follow it, you and Prayer, like puppy dogs, you just chase this thing down. You see this sparkly pearl just catching in the light of Lightday, of all of these rainbows in the sky, just truly on a planet that revolves around radiance. This is a day of radiance. Everybody's glowing and smiling. There's such a good energy on people's faces. Even the salesman who just saw this happen, he goes, oh, that's on me. I'm so sorry. Do not worry. We'll take care of everything. And the grandma's apologizing. The kid starts crying, but he's trying to let them down. Luca, you start chasing this pearl down, and you come to a stop in the middle of the marketplace. Where's it coming from? You hear the accordion music.
I was about to be like, I want to say what happens with my opportunity once you start that, but oh my god, okay, I hear, where is it coming from? You asked me.
You look around a little bit, and you identify the direction. Prayer comes back to you with the pearl in its mouth, and gives a little like axe hound smile.
I can't even be like as excited about it anymore because I feel bad for the vendor, and like I want to take the pearl from him and like be like, oh, I really want this pearl, and like give it back to the vendor. But like the accordion music, just like I don't even give a storm, a creme, anything about that pearl anymore. Where is this accordion music coming from? First I'm gonna look around. Where are Nazir? I was gonna say, are Nazir and Pako like?
You're in the crowd. You've already moved pretty far from them unless they're following
that's fine. I think
directly.
that is what I would do. So yeah, I'm following this accordion music.
You beeline through the crowd to a platform where you see a somewhat older looking, non-binary, it's unclear, performer with a thick white sheet of makeup on their face, sort of clown looking, but also has a very funny hat that's like the jester hat where it's
Buggy
too
hat.
big, like it goes off to the sides, wearing very poofy leg pants and has the accordion in their hands. And as you come running forward through the crowd, there's a stop and then keeps playing the music very badly, like compared to what you heard before, stretching it like too long, and there's some squeaky out of tune sounds. Storms must be blowing westward, knocking rock off the crest that hit me in the head, left me silly, or the strange Alethlin man wasn't a spren trying to trick me with this here box. Continues playing the box.
If I jump up and down, can I see Pako and Nazir?
No, it's such a thick crowd. There's tons of people. This is a huge
Jesus.
crowd.
Okay, I didn't mean to lose them. I didn't want that to happen. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, friends. Accordion trumps all. Hello, I don't want to interrupt. Hello, sir?
There.
Very focused on you, so you're not interrupting, and the crowd doesn't seem to care.
There.
You're playing it poorly.
I'm so sorry. Don't have a name. Can I, have that?
Sir, ma'am, you may call me whatever, but he said many strange things. If I'm being honest, don't pay much attention to what many say, but I do know this. Right before he handed me the box, he said, try giving it a play and a horn-eater lady with an axe hound will show up. Well, only seen 3 horn-eaters in me whole life, and so felt like a good deal, but still, I haven't quite figured out how to play it, so I guess I need to give it to you.
I reach out gingerly with both hands, and they place it in my hand.
He said that you seemed quite interested. He said to leave it with me, to leave it for you. He said it's called an accordion, but I don't like that name. I call it the squeaky windbag.
I don't know how much I like squeaky windbag, but I don't know how much I like accordion either. I'll come up with something clever. Now, can I please give it to me right now?
A bow and hands it over, like very deeply.
Oh, this is the best day of my life. I take it gently, but like really firmly, and I turn around, like kind of hoping that somehow the other 2 like found me, and of course they're like not there. So I'm just gonna like try to muscle back through the crowd in the direction I came to find them again. Hey, go find our friends.
As you start walking back into the crowd, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and it's kind of harsh, and you turn around and you see the clown looking at you with huge eyes and says, oh, one last thing. He also told me to tell you if things get really bad, look to the oath-bound spires.
Oh gosh, you're really awfully close. That's okay. Them. And
then starts skipping off into the crowd playing a flute. I just lost my headphones because I was skipping. Starts skipping off into the crowd playing a flute. And leaves you alone. Just, this person was on some shit. Nazir and Pako, you guys find yourselves looking out at an incredibly packed crowd with everybody going out for the holiday. Nobody works today. This is grand excitement. Plus, you guys have an incredibly full wharf here in the city, so there's traders from all over Roshar, even though many have depleted the goods that they brought here originally and are maybe trading with what they traded for, but people are kind of running low on things, but there's a generosity of spirit. This is sort of a Christmas as well, where people are getting things for free. There's a very happy energy in the atmosphere. And you see the rainbows, and people on this planet consider the rainbow, which is probably pretty similar to what we have. They just have a enhanced color sensitivity due to the investiture on the planet. We've got ruby, red, orange, yellow, emerald, green, sapphire, amethyst, indigo, violet. 10-color rainbow. Just as everything comes in 10s, We have a correlation with the heralds and all of the elements and soul casting and everything. So you guys look at this incredible day. It's celebrated differently in different parts of the world, but we have Nazir and Pako here experiencing this for the first time. What are you guys getting up to?
Pako looks down at Cosmere and goes, "Oi, runt, I'm just going to call you that now."
No, you're not. That's actually quite rude, Pako. You're actually going to call me Cosmere unless we're in a situation like that where I can be called runt when we're talking to people like that, but I don't think he believed you.
It's too many syllables. Can I just call you like Claus or something?
You can call me Claus. You don't have to call me Cosmere, but runt will be exclusively for certain moments, and you're not going to do that to me all the time. And if you remember, I can smite you.
Okay, what do you want to do? It seems like a day that
Lightday, what do I want to do? I want to get food. I want to play a bunch of games. I want to go see what people are doing down at the dock. I want to go up to the crest. I want to skydive, or I want to jump off of the cliff. I want to play with the axe hound. I want to see all the animals. I want to go to the aquarium. I want to go to the zoo. I want to...
All right, we can jump off the cliff, or let's just go down to the dock real quick, and then we might check it out from the cliff. Nazir, do you have any money that we can spend to get him like a cool keepsake or something from today? I feel like we should probably focus on the kid a little bit, It's always real fun when you're a kid.
Wait, to get into what?
Just get him something, like a knick-knack, you mean?
To be honest with you, I always liked Day. It was, we had a lot of food, we had a lot of fun. We got down, but considering this is one of his few, last kid adventures, I figured we just do whatever he wants to do. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Can we have some money to do stuff? You have more money than me and him combined.
Yeah, I was going to actually go to to go talk to the partner of mine that we spoke to before. He was supposed to give me more money and information.
Hey, Klaus.
Yeah.
His buddy has more money. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some spheres for his friend. And then you and I are going to have a great time while he's talking business. And then we just won't run up too much of a tab, you see.
Yeah. We'll go with you, and we'll pick up the money, and then we'll go have a lot of fun. It was that guy Punix, right? Punix, he's the guy that you were asking for money?
Isn't Punix the CEO?
Vivek is the union boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just going to follow you, and then whenever you go to do business, him and I are just going to do gallivanting or something.
I don't have much business to attend to. I'm going to have Thea float above my head and be kind of her natural state of invisibility, but due to the nature of Luca, she should be able to still see.
Luca could definitely see. What do you call it, Allie? What is the...
Sighted.
Yeah, so anybody that is sighted would recognize Thea. She's keeping like a watch over you, doing a sort of halo above your head type of rotation, keeping watch.
Yeah, I want to do that so Luca can see Thea if she just looks a little...
I'll say that that's perfect, that as you make your way back through the crowd, you kind of catch this, Luca. You join up with Pako and Cosmere as Nazir heads into the row houses for this conversation.
Anybody's welcome to come in.
So, Luca, what's that in your hand there?
I'm like hiding it behind my back a little bit, but it's probably sticking out. I mean, I don't know how big accordions are when they're compressed.
They're like microwave size still.
Yeah, they're pretty freaking big.
What is that?
He said it was an accordion.
Cool.
But
what
then
does it do?
Here, ready? Listen. And I am gonna roll performance. Is that a thing that we have? I don't think it is. What would it be? I guess
probably either. You could probably do like lore, because you would maybe like that's like a song.
Maybe lore. I was gonna say like light weaponry.
Do discipline or like lore, because that could be like a song.
I'll do lore because I'm a lot better at lore. So I try to play it, and we'll see if I do a poor performance because we know that's what I'm good at. Oh yeah, that's a 6. So it goes.
What is that?
Oh wait, I'll try again.
Wait. Give it to me real quick. Maybe I can make it speak.
No, I don't
Bago
think I
would
want to
break
give
it
it
100%.
I really don't want to give this to you. I'm sorry. I just got it.
Wait, give it Claus. Have you seen that?
Even
Don't
less
give it to a child
even,
either. A child would break it also.
All right, yeah.
You gotta tell me that. I'm sorry. I've just wanted this for so.
Maybe play like one note continuously, and we can like hum to it or something.
All right, I'm gonna roll performance and try to play one like perfect high C on my accordion. All right, that's a 11.
Good enough that it's not constant. You're not consistent in the speed that you're crunching it because it's not one consistent weight that you have to apply. It's that you need to push harder as you compress the air inward. So you're not used to it. So it's kind of squeaking in and out. But Cosmere and Pako, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you said Pako and
Yeah.
Cosmere. Weren't you being Cosmere?
I was Cosmere.
And I was Pako.
You are Luca.
Whoa.
You guys are playing with the instrument outside. Nazir, you're making your way into the row house here. You go into Punix's office, and you find standing there is Tiwan, who is full armor, very stiff back still. Good morning, Nazir. Did you speak with Vivek last night?
I kind of like toss the not like point it or anything, but like literally like the bar itself of the spear. I kind of like toss it to her for her to grab.
You toss back the spear to her. I hope the spear was helpful, friend. And then Punix is going to say, okay, Tiwan, you don't need to talk like that. Yes, Nazir, as I said, in the morning, we would have some stuff for you. So here you go. And on the desk, he's going to put down like the medium armor that you were asking for, which is not military issued. This is something different. This is like more typical what you would see someone coming in from like the sailing port. He also has a short sword there for you and a pouch of spheres. So give me a D12. This could be big.
I doubt it. Yeah, it's a 2.
You get 200 spheres.
I mean, that's not nothing.
That's some money. That's not nothing. This is all that we can guarantee at this time. Unfortunately, we could not provide you any more because of the blockade. We have not had any transfers out and very few transfers in. And so at the moment, we are a little strapped for cash. But because we know you and your business partner are good for it, we are able to provide this in this moment. This is a one-time payment on behalf of us to you as a gesture of goodwill and in the knowledge that you are a potential king of the upcoming world as well. We would not do this for just any normal person. I want you to keep that in mind. So now he's going into business mode, sort of like to Vivek, but this is like much more supplicant of like, when you become king of the world, please help us out, instead of like, I am trying to make deals with you right now so that you favor us in the future.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and say, breathe. I spoke to the union boss. He unfortunately does have a way with words, but I also think words can mean little when a person speaks of the grandeur of the people but has slaves. Though unfortunately I don't think my time here is long enough to really make a strong change. I put in a good word for you. Hopefully he spoke of lowering all these bans today, and at least with my words, it seemed that you would be at the top of the list of those he would confer with.
Yes, he is somewhat required to confer with me as I have a higher share of the voting base, but I appreciate what you did, Nazir. It is very helpful for our cause. Is there anything he asked of you?
He wishes for me to speak to a diplomat of Azamir.
That should not be too difficult. If I'm being completely honest, I do not believe that the Azamir envoys are come with any benevolent intent. I believe it is a sort of imperial mandate to crush what we're doing. I'm not fully opposed to the strike that is happening right now. I just think that there's something nefarious behind it as well. Was there any other information you were able to gather? And in this moment, you think of seeing the crest being carved.
I think I'll give him a layout of the entirety of the room and everything that I saw within the room.
He has created an entire museum for himself. You see, I shared nearly as much power as this man, but I never spent my power in accruing personal wealth, and therefore, you see, I have such a humble office that I did not lay the groundwork to prepare myself against the incoming incursion of him and his ilk. Do you think it's a good idea? Should I make a museum for myself?
I think you're better off for it, not doing it. External wealth means
that is what I thought. I just wanted to check with someone like you who knows better than I.
I'm going to kind of actually look at him deeply to kind of gather his focus and say, I can't speak to some external philosophy of the world. I'm not old enough, I'm not experienced enough, and I'm honestly, I might not be smart enough. However, the only thing that I can tell you as a person is if you stay true to the initial heart of who you are, you're probably better off for it. External wealth is just that, external. Think of the internal view of yourself, and I think it's going to be okay. A humble office says a lot more than a shiny broken sword or gem heart. I view you better than I did him.
Roll a leadership against his spiritual defense.
That's a 19.
This is deeply influential to this man. He takes everything you say to heart, and this is no longer just a respect for your position. This is hearing you say something wise to him, where he will take it in stride. He will live his life according to this sort of truism that you passed on to him, that like really the material wealth that you're flashing doesn't matter as much as the content of your character in this way. So he hands this off to you, and okay, this a personal 100 spheres. Just it's Lightday. Why not? This is I don't want you to think this is a bribe. Please, Nazir, please take this. And this is a sincere offering from me to you. I do hope that we can one day return to a normalcy where you and I can sit down and have a nice meal together. So thank you for that, Nazir.
That day might not be soon, but it will happen. Unfortunately, as if I wish it was not the case, but absolute power can destroy schemes. So if I'm able to reach that level of grandeur, I will do my best to keep in mind those that have helped me. And then, sidebar, do you know any little area that gives like nice little accessories you can add to like a bow?
Add to a bow. Well, if you wish, you can visit the tradesmen down at the... what region do you think would be the best bow wielders on Roshar?
Probably Alethlin.
Alethlin, or like...
Horn-Eater Peaks.
Yeah. But like...
It really depends on like what the bow is used for.
Yeah.
Are you looking for something that is more a damage or a distance type augmentation?
Oh, I was thinking of something that's just pretty, but if I mean it has actual practical capabilities, probably distance. I think she's physically strong enough to pull back some strong distance. I think you can never go wrong with distance.
Then there are some traders that come from Selatalis that they fight against some Kremlin large great shells that have a very good sense for those that enter a certain distance, and so they try to kill them before they reach a certain distance within their radius. So I would say to head to this Selatalis ship, and he gives you some instructions on where they're at. And then on your way out, T1 will just look at you and be like, it seems that I gave you a little less credit, maybe, than you deserve. I hope that you're able to ease tensions between us and the union boss.
I tried. I can only hope that to be the case. Unfortunately, I think you are aware more than most that sometimes the human mind can be a strange thing and not necessarily... Wow, I had the word and then I forgot. I was going to say like easily read, but well understood.
Parsable.
Let me do a check real quick.
I don't think that's a word.
If you're free for dinner, I'll be around. And she's going to open the door and just kind of like push you out and then close the door behind you. We move to those that are outside of this area.
While Nazir was inside,
I'm going to throw a rock at you.
while we were outside, Pako decided to put his hat down and try and do a little dance while Luca was playing her single note on the accordion to try and get any spheres that we could.
If we're busking, no, I want to roll. Let me roll one more performance, please, Noah. And then
One more performance. Please,
so we can see if we got any money.
Turn it up.
Oh yeah, I'll get it hard.
I'll roll athletics to see if my jig got anyone to settle down.
Okay, I need that because I got another fucking 2, which means I got a 6, which sucks.
Oh, you got an opportunity?
But I need to roll my opportunity. All right, I got nothing.
I rolled an 18 plus 3 on my athletics for doing a little jig.
Oh, so they're not even listening. They're like, this girl has nothing to do with like that guy that's like doing
That guy's just busting it down. That's wild.
No one would ever know that that guy is disabled.
That's true. But regardless of these checks, you guys notice that there is very little attention coming towards you because everybody that enters this dock area, also kind of the shore, once you reach past the dock, there is a beachside area that is mostly hard shells and stones instead of sand because of the bay protecting it from the harsher waves that would disintegrate all of this stuff down into sand. You see that there are a lot of groups forming where anybody that comes here sort of has the intention to join up with one of these groups. You see a couple randoms coming in loud enough that you can hear saying stuff like, "Oh, that couple looks, yes, let's travel with them today." And nearby you guys, you see that there is a young preacher and an old preacher that are just going crazy with it. They're attracting the biggest crowd.
Kissing, just making out.
And they're both drawing a lot of attention in these crowds.
Pako stops doing his dance as he sees Nazir being pushed out.
He enters back with you guys, and so the whole crew is back together again.
Collectively, we have earned 0 money doing a street performance.
But we had fun, though.
We had a lot of fun. Cosmere really enjoyed that. You can see from the smile on his face. Little Claus is all happy about it. So, Nazir, did you get any of them spheres?
Yes, Pako, I have more money now. Yes.
Don't worry, I can play more music, and we can always make money if you.
We'll just do a little jig.
The Knights of Desolation are Andy Cotton as the Pako, Myles Johnson as Nazir Alethlin, Ali Lester as Lukai'kualinaki'ashalor, and me, Noah Tubbs, as everything else. Cover art by the incredible Aria Barra at ARIIRF_ on Twitter and Patreon. Music by Net Denizen Lane, aka Lane. And special thanks to Arjun Joshi, my deputy DM. If you're still with us, thank you so much for listening. You've probably heard, but we record these way before episodes come out. And behind the curtain, we've got about 14 recorded and have just finished this arc. It's incredible and we can't wait for you to all hear it. We're working really hard behind the screens to edit it as best we can, and sometimes that takes a bit more than every 2 weeks. Meanwhile, smash those like and subscribe buttons. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 4Kremlings with the number 4. If you have any suggestions for names, flora, fauna, new Spren, Silver Kingdoms era lore, or any other thoughts, leave a comment or email us at 4kremlings@gmail. Still the number 4. Thank you to the legendary Brandon Sanderson and Brotherwise Games for this amazing world and system we get to play in. See you in 2 weeks as we continue the journey of the Knights of Desolation.